let 'em know your name. Let 'em know.
Contrary to what Catholics have been told, the early church fathers and writers were not Catholic. Many of them stood against the idea of the Roman papacy and didn't believe that the Pope was the successor of Peter and the head of the church. Augustine wrote in Retractions chapter 20 that the church was going to be built upon Jesus, that Jesus was the rock. Chrysostom, in his commentary on Galatians, wrote that Peter, James, and John held primacy over the disciples. So how would Peter alone be the primary apostle? Cyprian wrote in his On the Unity of the Church chapter 4 that the rest of the apostles were the same as Peter in their power. Origen, in his commentary on Matthew, denied that it was Peter the person that Jesus was going to build his church. Irenaeus, in his book Against Heresies, traces the succession of bishops in Rome to Peter and Paul, not just Peter alone. Cyprian of Carthage and another bishop opposed Pope Stephen I's claim over other bishops. Tertullian, in his Prescription Against Heretics, emphasized that apostolic succession was about adhering to true teachings rather than holding a specific office. He does not acknowledge a singular office residing in the Bishop of Rome. Even at the Council of Nicaea, it recognizes major sees like Rome, Alexandria, and Antioch, but never does it grant universal supremacy to the Bishop of Rome. And at the Council of Chalcedon, it declared that the Bishop of Constantinople holds equal authority to the Bishop of Rome, again challenging this idea of Roman supremacy. One after another, when the early church writers analyze Matthew 16:18, they don't come to the same conclusion that Catholics do today. And like Cyprian, Origen, Cyril, Hilary, Jerome, Ambrose, Augustine, not one of them solidifies this theological idea that Peter or the Pope is the rock that Jesus was going to build his church upon. These men aren't exactly Protestants either. Sometimes in the case, like with Jerome, they contradict himself, like in his letter 15 to Pope Damascus. He would write that the chair of Peter was that which the church is built upon. Later in his letter 146, he would contradict this, saying wherever a bishop is, at Rome, Constantinople, or Alexandria, he is of the same priesthood and the same worth. This directly contradicts the idea of Roman primacy. So no, when you study church history, you don't become Catholic. In fact, you don't even find many of the teachings that Catholics hold dear today as being taught or practiced or explained by many of the early church writers in the first few hundred centuries. Hey, come along with me in a book-by-book summary through the entire Bible in chronological order with extra historical backgrounds and insights from a Jewish perspective. Comment summary below and I'll send you the details.